everybody. Welcome to another Age of Grogu. And I'm here with Elijah, Jason, and Max. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Right.
Hey.
Uh,
That's interesting.
Howdy.
I'm just looking at something here. The live stream on, looks like X is now being kind of cut out. So in other words, it's not going to go live on X anymore unless you're part of the premium setup.
What?
Wait, what? You were live on X?
I was always live on X as well, but this is
Oh.
the first time I got this thing now. It's like, yeah, a premium account on X is required in order to stream on the platform.
Elon.
Which means that it's, yeah, damn you, Elon. Which means I'm still going live on YouTube. It just means I'm not going live on X.
Man,
I
it's my
guess
first time learning that you were going live on X.
I mean, I was going live on X, but like,
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
I just figured, I'll throw it
Do you
out
have
there.
any? Do you track how many viewers you had?
Well, it doesn't track back to YouTube. It only tracks on X. But since you're not making anything off X anyway, it's almost like it's taken away viewers from that. So either way, I'm just like, okay, I guess I won't be streaming on X. It's just simply straight out to, or Twitter, I should say, because I'd rather call it Twitter than give that name any more credit.
I never use Twitter, and I still don't use X.
Fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
anytime
Well,
you send the link, I
obviously.
can't open it. I'm like, I can't even look at this.
Oh, you can't open some of the link? Okay, because you don't have a Twitter account? Fair
Well, I don't have the app downloaded.
Uh-huh.
I can't even look at it.
Yeah. How's everyone's week going? Have you been watching anything? Anything news popped up you've watched and checked out? Anything
Dude,
cool?
speaking of news, man, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock?
Wait,
That's
what?
crazy.
What year are you in, Jason?
Yeah.
Next.
Uh-huh.
It was the top of his feed this
Crazy
morning for
news.
some
Man.
reason.
Crazy news day. Man,
What?
nuts. I just learned about that.
Uh-huh.
Whew. Man, I don't know how we're going to get over this.
Anybody
Yeah.
else got anything that's worth chatting about?
Adventures of
I-
Superman has
Oh, yeah?
been absolutely incredible this season.
Yeah.
Still need
The
to
last
get fun.
episode was just like an emotional, tear-jerking masterpiece.
Wow. That
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to definitely check it out now.
Yeah, I still haven't started watching that. It's like right there. I'm like, should I watch this?
It's worth it.
Passing it up. But if it's that good,
I mean to do that.
and with all the Superman news coming out, all this,
Oh, so
it's
much,
getting me
yeah.
excited. It's just like I'm
Yeah.
hoping this movie's going to be again amazing.
I know we're
Oh, yeah.
upon a new era of Superman.
I think
Yeah.
so. I believe so, yeah. I meant, yeah.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're really going to go that Justice League building that it was
Mhm.
based off of, that's freaking rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole Justice. And
Sorry,
where is
I'm
that?
jumping.
Chicago?
No, they're shooting in where is it? In
Cleveland. That's where it
Cleveland.
is.
Cleveland, yes,
I
Cleveland.
knew it was a
Yeah,
state.
because they have
Yeah.
like the building looks just like it, right?
Well, yeah. So
Well, it was
ultimately,
inspired by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All Justice
The
League.
So-
designer of the Hall of
Ultimately-
Justice, you know.
I'm gonna put an introduction to this. I'm gonna put an introduction to this segment. So ultimately, last week we started talking about a lot of the photo drops that we were getting from the new Superman film by James Gunn. This week there's been more photos, not as much as last week, but we did get this image drop like literally yesterday. They're going to be filming in the this is Cincinnati Union Terminal. Supposedly,
Oh,
this is
God.
not like this is not confirmed, but they are. Yeah. But it sounds like on July 18th of this week, in 4 days' time, they're going to be shooting over there some exterior shots, which obviously is inspired the whole of Justice from the 1970s, Super Friends show, and
I mean, that building's like already there. I mean, they could do a little add-on with like digital add-on or stuff.
Oh,
but that's,
absolutely.
like,
Hey, how old is
99%
that building?
there.
I don't know. It's
Oh,
going
it's
to
an
be at least
old one.
40s or 50s,
Yeah.
perhaps.
I thought the Justice League came first, and then the guy was like,
I-
"Oh,
no,
I'm
no,
a fan
no.
of Super
Yeah.
Friends. I'm gonna decide."
No,
Oh,
I think
totally.
the designer of the toy, I think it was based on the toy,
Mm.
and then it was Super Friends and Super Friends.
Yeah.
But I think the designer of the toy based it on that because he either grew up there or was near the Kenner factory or something like that.
Mm.
That's what I
Okay.
thought. That's what I thought it was.
Inspired by that.
They actually did use this. I want to say it was either the Arrow or the Flash. It was
Yeah,
one
the
of the big
Flash,
crossover. But it was the
I think it was the
crossover.
Crisis crossover.
Yeah, Crisis, and they
Oh,
actually
okay, they
did.
use it before. Okay.
Yeah, and they didn't use this exact building, but they designed up a Justice League in its own little way. I think it's the only time we ever
Okay,
saw
well,
it in the entire series of its length.
Yeah.
But
They said, here's a Justice League, you'll never see him again.
that was it, yeah. But I
Out there
thought it was
using
cool.
this for the Justice League building. That's come
Well,
full circle.
I'm trying to piece some things together. Okay, so hear me out here. Hear me out. Last week we saw some video footage of Hawkgirl and is it Kyle Rayner? Oh, who was it?
Guy
It was
Gardner.
Guy Gardner. Sorry,
Guy
yes, Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific and Superman, and they all seem to be fighting. This is a new one from this week, but this is out in a field, and in this obviously is
They're
on
landing and like the kids came up to hug him and stuff.
Yeah, but we've got this whole thing going on.
That's great. That
Yeah.
that holds it. Like, go back to one photo. The guy with the cowboy hat, like right at the edge of that swivel. Like, your job is to spin him around. Like, okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
This is an interesting job. It's like that dude that's controlling the pivot of Superman.
Yeah, but we do see one shot where they're all kind of getting together, and these kids are going up, and they're giving Superman a hug, I think, and all this, and these characters just kind of go through the crowd. And I'm wondering whether they're actually exiting whatever the fight scene was, or whatever's going on there, and that shot was actually them heading towards this, which would mean that it would kind of theoretically put together that all the old school kind of costumes, which are very similar to each other, that we're seeing from Hawkgirl and
well, I mean, it's kind of already what I was expecting from that last shot when they're all wearing the same uniform. They are
correct, exactly.
I can go deeper than that. All of
go
the
for
logos are Lord Tech logos. They have Maxwell Lord's company in the center of it, kind of showing that in the late 80s, early 90s, I think it was, Maxwell Lord basically was the financier and kind of in charge of Justice League International.
So he might own this building itself, and they're walking. My theory is they're walking towards that building.
I think they're going to be like government/corporate stooges, not like knowingly that they're being led astray by Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, so basically Vought in its own little way from the boys, but in a good version of it. Hey, Anchorman.
What up, Anchorman?
But yeah, I mean, I feel like that could be the vibe of what we're seeing right now. And then obviously we'll get an interior set, on a soundstage somewhere of what the inside of this Justice League or whatever it's going to be is going to look like.
I wonder if Anchorman has been to this place. It's in Ohio. Oh wait,
no, it's not. I don't think so.
Wait, didn't we just say it's in Ohio?
No. Wait, no, Cincinnati.
Oh,
Union Terminal. Yeah, wrong one.
Never mind. Yeah. Sorry, Anchorman.
Either way, I'm just going back again. We got some more fight sequences. So I feel like that wherever this fight is taking place is probably very close to that. It feels like at that point they're going to indoctrinate, Superman into that kind of thing, and then of course we'll see the old school out. And,
I also like just him in the brick that he's going through the brick. Like in other movies, he would bust through like the entire street and he would go into the subway. I like.
Oh right, yeah.
That there's a point to. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it could be Metamorpho forming the bricks around him.
You think this is a Metamorpho fight? Yeah.
He's the element man. He can control all elements. I mean, I think he could be trapping Superman in some rubble.
Okay.
By the way, everything we are talking about, we're just theorizing on what we're seeing. We're just
speculation.
All speculation. We're just like completely.
Yeah, I don't think Metamorpho is on set yet. Not that I've seen.
One thing that is not speculation right now is that James Gunn actually dropped a image of the logo and obviously a poster, I'm guessing, of its final look for the Superman, which is kind of we've seen that before, kind of pop up in different forms of the Superman logo against the blue background and all that. But I'm kind of and then at that point I think he posted this is a year from now, so he released that image last week. So.
Yeah. 10th, I think. July 10th.
Hey, Sucked. How's it going? Classic Superman stuff. I mean, again, there wasn't as many photos dropped this week on Superman, but I am really, really excited. The one other thing they did drop, and I don't know what this was from exactly, but there's a downtown Metropolis.
The map of Metropolis.
Yeah, but it's the name. But every street name is the name of everybody who's had anything to do with Superman or something like that.
Not everyone, just a lot of notable ones, mostly notable ones. There's a few people left out. I did not see one for Louise Simonson, and that was a huge blow to me because she's my favorite Superman writer.
Okay.
You have like Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway. They included like Scott Snyder and Richard Donner.
Okay.
Grant Morrison. Yeah, there's a huge list. Alan Moore, huge list of names that you can go through and
That's
find
cool.
out who did what.
That's cool. And they're all street names in Metropolis, so it's like, okay, that's kind of fun.
It's like when you see street names in a Pixar movie, it's all like in Emeryville.
Yeah. But are they going to introduce a mini Justice League?
I don't think they're going to be a Justice League. I think they're going to be Justice Society.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Because they were always a precursor to the League, and it would make sense of them coming in, Superman kind of taking over the mantle of being the head of the League, and
eventually Batman
forming his own league
Wonder
around
Woman.
them. Yeah.
Supergirl.
Cool.
Yeah. And that I think that's a great way to create this world and develop it. Of, out with the old and in with the new. And I feel like this is the vibe
Justice
we're getting.
Society also had a Mr. Terrific. It also had Hawkgirl. It had a Green Lantern, not Guy Gardner.
Right.
And a bunch of other characters that are in the movie who've been associated with the JSA. So I think it could be JSA.
So then we'll see the updated with Jon Stewart probably, and Hal Jordan and all the others as they develop this new series into that whole new Justice League. Hello, Ted. How's it going? You guys want to see something terrifying? I don't know if we want to see something terrifying, but
edifying.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to Superman, that's all the information I could find recently this past week. But I don't know if there's anything else you guys saw pop up along the way.
I think that's pretty much But it just the more info we get, I mean, we're just going to keep getting more and more photos of this.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, at least until they go back indoors again and start shooting in interiors and that. But there's a certain amount of exterior that they have to shoot out and all that, so which is cool. All right. So anyway, other stuff I've seen pop up this past week. Just there wasn't a lot of news this past week, but I'm going to jump through some of them. Shrek 5 officially in theaters July 26. Looks like they got the entire cast returning, so they've got a release date for that a year from now. I'm excited. I mean, especially after the way they did the
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots, the second one at least. The first one was terrible. And Shrek 2 and 3 I thought were absolutely appalling. But I'm kind of excited to see them revamp the Shrek, story arc and hopefully do better than they did in the earlier editions. That's just me, I'm a big fan. Other animation news I saw this week, guys, is that Inside Out 2 has become Pixar's largest grossing film ever with $1.25 billion worldwide. Which is kind of crazy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's like beating out
over Toy Story, over everything, over
everything as a single as a one-off film, not as a franchise in general, but I also read, and I don't have it here, but apparently the Despicable Me series, I guess that includes the Minions, has reached over $5 billion worldwide in which is like, that's just insane.
That's always been a massive franchise, right?
Oh, yeah. Inside Out 2 is good. I like the first one a little better, but it's not a bad film. It's definitely, it's got the emotional feels and all that. Just, I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. Animated stuff, it's kind of crazy that, again, it's weird that animation is making that pull right now. And usually it does that. Usually animation becomes a big box office smash hit, and then you start to get followed by a couple of, again, usually it's going to be franchise films, which they already are, but live action stuff.
Well, what other young films are there? Whatever live action young, there's not a Matilda going on. There's not other
No,
I can't think of other live action young.
Yeah.
Kids, movies for kids. Where are
they?
They're all animated stuff.
Yeah, no, it's
I don't know why I said Matilda.
No, that's fine. No, I get you. I mean, but yeah, there really hasn't been, I guess. I mean, outside of the Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that.
I mean, even
the
that
genre
is
films.
young adult to me.
Yeah.
Not like it's not like what.
Yeah, but either way,
Children be watching stuff.
Yeah.
That's like all for
mean,
kids.
I know we all did when we were kids, but I'm just saying it's not like whatever.
Yeah, no, but it is. It's like I feel like people. I don't know whether it's just optimism, but I feel like people are starting to go back to the movie theaters because, again, movies are a big thing of entertainment. being able to get
Or
away
relief
from
from the
the
wicked
harshness of reality for a couple of
People need to
for a
go
couple of
away.
hours.
Escapism.
And escapism, yeah, and we need that. And I feel like that if that line got blurred about staying home and watching something, and now people feel like they have this need to want to go out again. And I'm hoping that's the thing with big screen.
It's also been a
movies,
hot
obviously.
summer, and people like movie theaters when it's hot outside.
Sure, yeah, that's fair enough too. Yeah, but either way, we also had a trailer drop, 3-minute trailer drop for Gladiator 2. I was in the original line of thought of I don't need this. At least put
It looks fine, but it's like another unnecessary sequel.
Yeah, it is. But I am also kind of, after seeing the trailer, I'm kind of excited to see it now. I mean, I don't know how you guys felt about that.
No, I'm excited. Same way I was excited about like Tron Legacy.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like it's a legacy sequel. It looks like they're gonna recognize like Maximus, and he's gonna be like worshipped as a legend. So it's kind of cool seeing like people react to like the fandom of that he had at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I really like the first one, so it's like when you guys see like a Ghostbusters sequel or something like that.
Sure,
that's how I feel about this.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, cool. I liked the first one. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not expecting it to be better than the first one. But
no, I'm not expecting it to be better. It had at least familiar vibes, which I think kind of worked for me to be like, okay, maybe I could enjoy.
You're going
this.
a lot bigger in this one though, with things like filling the Coliseum with water, which was a thing back then, with sharks and fighting more larger animals like the rhinoceros.
Well, I know that the rhinoceros originally wanted to put it in the original film, and and budget-wise they couldn't afford it for the budget to put a rhinoceros.
So we threw the whole sequence into the trailer and said, "Watch this! I finally did it."
Yeah,
this is what sequels like this are for. To expand on the concept, to do bigger things.
Exactly. Gladiator 2 Training Day back into the ooze. Okay, fair enough. That's funny. That is funny. but I thought it was a cool trailer. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much, and I'm like, okay, I'll probably check this film out later this year. It comes out in November, I think, so, which is going to be cool.
That wasn't even the biggest trailer we had this week.
No, it wasn't. We'll jump into that in a minute. Let's jump into Daredevil Born Again will be released next month, is what they're saying. The first trailer will be released next month.
Don't scare me like that.
Sorry, on my end, I've got the live that covers up the first words, and so I can't actually see what it says in the first words of anything written up on the thing up there. So, but the first trailer for Daredevil Born Again will be released next month. Which again, I'm curious to see what's done. They did this massive rewrite of what they were originally shooting, and
is that going on Netflix or Disney?
It's Disney, yeah.
Disney.
Yeah. I guess it means that eventually I'm going to actually have to sit down and watch all of Daredevil and finish that series, because I only watched the first season. So.
Oh wow! It gets really good.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Second season was dope.
Yeah. No, I'll sit down. I mean, I need to recap the first season again, because all I got from everything was when we watched She-Hulk. And just the recapping there was like, okay, I kind of need to see where this all went, kind of thing. But yeah. Then what was the other news? Oh yes, other news was that the head writer for X-Men 97 is currently developing season 3, and mentioned there of the scripts for season 2 have been revisited, or revised, I should say. What are your thoughts on this, Max? Because we know you got thoughts.
I just this guy's track record's been mediocre. I'm not saying he's a bad writer. I'm just saying his track record it's been mediocre so far. He's done some episodes of What If and some other stuff that wasn't so great.
Right.
And I don't know. I think we've had great already. We had a great first season that was just phenomenal. I think just a good to okay season could kill the interest in the show for a lot of people, because this show was just huge to the point where even non-Marvel fans were really watching the show. And I think if you change too much of season 2, which the plans were already laid in place the last episode of last season. It can go so wrong if he just decides to do things differently.
Well, it depends. I mean, I feel like the changes are made to imbalance what season 3 could be. It doesn't mean they're going to be doing a rewrite. I just feel like if there are little things that are hinted that was already set in season 2 that they could just alter a couple of things so that they can be pre-setting up whatever events are going to take place in season 3.
I just think Bo DeMaio was such a gift to the X-Men universe that it's going to be hard to top that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Elijah, any thoughts?
Not really. I mean, it's like I don't know what to say because they got rid of the first writer, so like it's like now they first showrunner.
Yeah.
So you think that person has a plan and an agenda to do whatever they want to do, and like you just put someone else. I don't know. That seems that always.
Yeah.
What goes astray?
What do you feel about Disney firing him for having a second job?
I kind of get it. I mean,
I don't even know. I don't even know
with their brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remind us, Jason.
What was he technically fired for? He had a second job.
He has a OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
If you look at his
everybody's got a big OnlyFans.
You have one, Elijah?
Yeah, I think.
No.
I think Disney's just worried about having their showrunner be promoting sexually explicit content online.
Paywall.
They could have just told them just
paywall, dude.
Immediately.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, honestly, if you hadn't told us, I wouldn't have known, and I still would have kept on watching whatever he would have done next.
I would have never noticed them, but if they didn't say that he was fired and blast it, it's like just tell him to take it off and continue. If he wants to continue,
pick it up later down the track, then
or whatever. Wear a mask.
They might have done that too. We don't know.
I know. I think it was one of those it's the Streisand effect where none of us knew until he got fired for it, and then everyone knows now. But I don't know. I think
Disney.
Chill, dude.
Season 2 is most likely going to blow us like Twin Peaks season 2. Fair enough.
I mean, they already set up so much for season 2. He would really have to destroy the scripts to make it suck. Like they set up.
That's what people do. When people get the keys to rewrite a movie or a sequel, they just change everything. We can change this. We'll make it work.
They can, but
my story's interesting enough to people forget about everything they just watched. It's what usually happens. Possible. It happens in everything.
Yeah, but then you see a show that you have a beloved showrunner, and then you see a stark difference when they leave. I've seen that happen a lot in shows.
Yeah, you'd want them to hold on to whatever was developed for season 2.
You're miss a charm
he did develop.
You're miss a charm that made that first season so good, and I'm cautious about what to expect from the second season because the one who made it who made it really good, is gone now.
Yeah.
So
he understood the X-Men so well. I don't think we can go back to like the Fox movies where everything's just watered down and there's no personality to these characters. Every character in that show was treated with love and respect, and I don't think we can go back to just a bunch of side characters and a Wolverine.
That would be a mistake to look at and reference the movies to do the show. God, that would be the worst thing to do.
They'll do something stupid. They'll do something stupid for sure.
Can we take X-Men, bring back a talking mutant? I think Ted's got his own show.
Are you a mutant, Ted?
Might be a mutant.
He could be a mutant. Actually, Ted might be a mutant. Yeah, that makes sense.
What's
I can see that.
What's your true form look like?
He's Bob Herman.
A possessed demon doll.
No, it's just Ted.
Our eyes can't fathom his true form.
That's it.
So he has to come in the form of a bear.
There you go.
It's some Lovecraftian monster. With Seth MacFarlane's voice.
Keeping within the MCU, 2 things dropped this week. We're going to start off with the TV show first, which was they dropped a Agatha All Along trailer, which I've always been on the hype train for. I enjoyed her character. I enjoyed what Catherine Hahn, did to develop this. We got a few new, it seems, characters in here. Big one being, unfortunately, I had it spoiled, but it seems like Wickham is going to be a character in this. Wiccan is going to be a character, which is the
Billy Maximoff.
Billy Maximoff.
It's not really a spoiler. They already really kind of announced it.
Yeah. We have Aubrey Plaza in it, and she actually was in the show Legion, which I didn't realize. Which, if you've seen Legion, which is also an X-Men based kind of series, I thought season 1 was amazing. But she was great in that role too. So, but where am I looking for it? Yeah, what did you guys think of the Agatha All-Along trailer?
It looks exciting.
Surprisingly good. Yeah. I like the horror vibe they went with.
Yeah.
It's some good witch content, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think Wanda is going to come back. I think the whole idea is that because Wanda took her magic, they need to bring her back to get her magic back.
I think so too. I think this is going to be the big thing that brings her back. Now, the one thing that has been interesting too was that people have been comparing the different power or color of each of the witches with the Infinity Stones.
I don't think that's going to be a thing.
You don't think it's going to be a thing? I mean, it seems to be like a subconscious reoccurring thing, though. I mean, we've got
maybe
those are just any primary color you see.
Okay, fine.
I don't think it's cosmic versus magic.
Look at you got the yellow stone on right now.
Yeah, but still, come on. I think
the Mind Stone, the Soul Stone. Brent, are you a Soul Stone?
He's an Amber Witch.
Brent is like, it's an Easter egg that Brent is wearing the Soulstone color.
But
right
at the same time, it's like, there are similarities, and I know that they're not implying it directly, but it's like it feels like it's a familiar element to work with the color of magic being something more
we're familiar with because they're the basic colors of the rainbow.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'd be this. Well, anyway, we'll see. Let's put it this way: if we end up with both a orange and yellow witch-powered character that is like suddenly pops up, then we might revisit this kind of conversation. But end of the day,
you're the Amber Witch right here now.
I'm the Amber Witch. There you go. Oh yeah, there you go.
The stones are gone, man.
Well, no, I know the stones are gone, but I'm saying like within witchcraft, maybe they're gonna do a familiar. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
No, what?
A theory.
It's a theory. But along with that, we also got another really cool trailer for a new film coming out, which is, of course, Captain America: Brave New World.
I like that poster.
I think it's a great poster.
I love how he's cracking the shield. I think they're gonna
just the pressure.
Introduce Adamantium and give him a new shield.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is the scale that's out of proportion for the actual thing, but I just think it's freaking amazing. I wish it was this scale. I wish
Red Hulk was that big.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you see him in the end shot there, basically here, and it's like, his hands are nowhere near the kind of scale to crush that. But as a poster, though, it's a sweet poster.
It's a good poster.
Yeah.
Symbolic.
They haven't done that for a while. People have kind of ditched a lot of the MCU posters for a while now, and I think
they've been pretty bland. This one was really a shot in the arm.
Yeah. They spent some time.
Well, like Civil War had like the scratch on it, you know.
Had
that one.
Yeah, but
I doesn't know what the Red Hulk is.
What's that? I'm. Harrison Ford doesn't know what the Red Hulk is? Yeah. Harrison doesn't necessarily know a lot of what he's doing. He's just simply doing it for the money. So he said it. No, I'm sure he knows. I'm sure. You know what?
He reads the lines, he memorizes them, and shows up to set. He doesn't need to know the lore.
But I think there's a lot of an act in all that too that he does. I mean, I think Harrison Ford persona of
that's just branding.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's his brand to act a little dumb around whatever it is he's doing when it comes to sci-fi or fun or silly.
I also think his really dry humor gets lost as people don't see the sarcasm. And think he's an asshole. Yeah. But when he says, "I don't even know what a Red Hulk is," he's being sarcastic and trying to be funny.
Well, you've seen the interview about the Force Ghost and everything, and he's just like, "I don't even know what the Force Ghost is," but I'm like, it's the dry humor. Anyway, we've got Giancarlo Esposito coming in as we assume
Playing a character he always plays.
Well, possibly. It's good to see him actually do some action with a weapon this time. What do you? Who do you think his character
Well,
is?
once you
Max?
get one bad guy,
Brent.
once you do a bad guy, yeah. When you get a bad guy and you do it well, you're like, oh, he's gonna be a bad guy.
Every role I see is just like another version of, what the
he's been into playing villains a little too much. He plays a lot of villains now.
But he enjoys it, and it's still kind of fun to see him, pop up. This time he gets to shoot a gun.
The rumor is he's playing George Washington Bridge, who's the most. He's from like the X-Force comics. He's like just another government agent kind of.
Right.
I felt huge character.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Sorry?
I don't think I've never last time I've seen a comic.
Where's the shoulder pads?
Yeah.
He needs the scrunch face.
There you go.
Another shoulder pads. He has yellow shoulder pads.
And although the trailer was somewhat short, and definitely I would consider a teaser trailer because it really didn't show us a lot about story or plot, we do see Isaiah Bradley, who appeared in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Maybe controlled by Mastermind. Not Mastermind. What's his name? Leader.
Oh yes, of course. Because now this is a deep cut back to like the second MCU film, which was The Incredible Hulk.
17 years ago.
I know. So the character
The actor was promised a role, and he will do it.
He would do it. Is it the same actor that's?
What's his name? Tim Blake.
Yeah, is that what? Yeah,
he's billed on there, right?
Yeah. So at the very end of The Incredible Hulk, just as a reminder, he gets a few drops of serum or something drop on his head, and his brain starts to pulsate and grow and become hyper intelligent, I guess. And he becomes who, Max?
Leader.
The leader. So we might have
green. He's green in the trailer.
Yeah, you see kind of like the back of him. You don't see a full.
Oh, do you see him? I was looking for him. You hear his
voice. He's got the hat on in one shot, the back of his head.
His hand pops up in one scene in the foreground, and it's green.
Well, this is actually something. Well, the TV show is transferring to the big screen. This is actually the big thing that Marvel, the MCU, are trying to do. Is they're trying to isolate now their television to keep it now just television. And the feature film be feature film.
Doing that again.
They're going back to that because, and not that they don't exist in the same universe, because they all do, but the reality is they're trying to make sure that they don't complex everything, that there is an audience for the TV.
They gave too much to watch too fast to a lot of people, and they really need to watch everything to catch up. And then a lot of the plot threads led nowhere. All the stuff like Ms. Marvel, you kind of need to watch in order to kind of get some.
The only people get affected by that are like casual fans,
Yeah.
But that's like majority of the audience.
But everyone who's really invested is catching up. Keeping up with everything.
I mean, we've watched everything except
casual fans who complain about all that stuff.
Yeah. But it's cool that Isaiah Bradley going from TV into the big screen is going to be an interesting role, because I was invested in the character that they had developed for him in.
See, like the thing about Falcon and Winter Soldier felt like an MCU movie to me because
I agree.
It had like Bucky and Sam, who were like massive in the movies, so like it didn't really feel like a show to me. It was like the movies that went into the show realm instead. I
like that vibe a lot. That having to introduce new characters and give a whole new origin story to new characters. It was really great to be able to take two characters that people already know and like and put them in a realm where they can just get more of that, but in a longer format.
I mean, the reality is they're probably going to have to reintroduce his character again in this show, just simply because anybody who may not have watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier is not going to have an inkling of clue who his character is. So I'm sure we'll end up with a bit of backstory.
They could do that in 5 seconds.
They could do that definitely in 5 seconds with a bit of good dialogue, and let's hope we get that.
Because in Winter Soldier, you get like they do a quick Bucky thing just so you're sure you don't need to watch the first one to understand their relationship. So they could totally do that.
Yeah, but it has been a few years as well since Falcon and the Winter Soldier was out, so it'd be nice to see a little bit of a recap. But at the same time, I'm excited to see what they do. I do really love the new uniform that they've got, especially the full. Just the design. I know half of this is CGI.
The red, white, and blue wings look awesome. Yeah. And you also see him with a full helmet later on in the trailer.
Yeah.
Through that jet, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much like Iron Man now, dude. He goes like
I don't think
supersonic.
it's gonna be like an Iron Man helmet.
No,
I think
but
it's gonna be
no, but I'm not saying it's a Iron Man helmet, but he's like powerful as Iron Man, where he could break the sound barrier and crash through jets. Is what I mean.
I do love the image there where he's got the shield hooks onto the back of his backpack there, and just like it's on the back. There's some great visuals. We also have one location as well that finally gets picked up well after the Eternals dropped. And there is, although you don't see any close-ups of it, we actually are on what's the name in Ireland, Max? Considered
which celestial was it? Was it
whichever celestial it was that we see at the end.
I don't even remember which celestial it was at this point.
Basically, you're on a celestial.
Yeah, there's two shots
the one
where
that
you see
popped up.
Yeah.
I missed that. What?
Oh yeah. That's part of the thing.
I heard it's going to be a big part of the movie is them finally addressing that and people having the concern about the celestial.
Yeah.
No, the only outside reference to that was in She-Hulk. On like like an ad on one of the websites.
Yeah.
That's the only time it was ever addressed outside of Eternals, dude.
Well, they finally are going to be addressing that particular island.
Which part were they fighting? Were they on it?
There's a couple of missiles that are fired out. Yeah, flies by it. There's a couple. You don't actually see again the full.
It seems like the U.S. is
full
firing
wide shot.
upon it because they think it's a threat.
There's rocket missiles shooting up, and
Oh man!
I have heard a rumor though. I don't know how true it is that they're using this movie to introduce adamantium, and it could be through the Celestial.
That's what I'm hearing.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard about it.
It's not the biggest deal in the war. It's not the hugest spoiler either. I know what they're going to do with it besides give Cap a new shield. But it'd be cool to get a comic accurate adamantium shield.
Yeah. And then that's also the same stuff that goes into Wolverine too, right? So.
Yeah.
Wolverine's claws.
Yeah.
Bones. Everything.
Yeah. So, as a trailer, it was a teaser. It was relatively short. I think it was only a minute and a half long at the most kind of thing. We will be seeing it obviously on the big screen when Deadpool drops in 2 weeks' time, which I'm very hyped to see. Actually, less than 2 weeks now. It's like, woohoo, Deadpool. Friday next week.
I can't believe I'm going to miss that first weekend of it.
Oh, you're going to be down in Comic-Con,
San Diego,
San Diego, yeah. Well, that's the other thing that's come up is like there's been actually, I was going to say, we've seen the most updated list of Comic-Con?
Yeah. They announced Marvel on Saturday at like 6 to 7.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Wednesday?
Huh?
I'm going. Wednesday's the one day I don't know if I'm going because it's preview night, right?
Yeah. That would be the only night. If I go, I would just go for that night and drive back the following morning.
Well, let me know if you do. I might join you. I don't know, whichever. If you're heading down.
That's the one day I don't have a parking spot yet. So I was still trying to figure it out because I was probably just gonna drive and drop back down the same day on Wednesday. But it's just I think Wednesday's only like 3 hours, 6 to 9, something like that. So I was kind of just going to start my con on Thursday.
Yeah. Whichever, it's it's very crowded. That's for sure. You might see it. Oh, you might see the Deadpool. Yeah.
I gotta jump off.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna head out. So, all right. Cool, man.
Max.
Thanks for coming in, Max.
Dude, the Celestial's on there for like a split second. I would never have guessed that was it.
No, neither did I until Max actually told me, and then I started seeing bits and pieces popping up.
You see like a sliver. They're just on the ocean. It's when he's wearing his helmet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm excited to see the film. I'm excited to see the trailer on the big screen, in a week and a half's time, and which is going to be fun. And then other stuff that was news this week: House of the Dragon, episode 4, which I know Elijah doesn't watch, but Jason, you're caught up with it right now.
Oh, that was crazy!
It was so good.
House of the Dragon fight.
Yeah, Dragon fight was really sweet, but my God, the actress who plays Rhaenyra is just freaking amazing. She really is great. She's apparently a very theatrical actress. She does a lot of theater. So that performance that she always gives is very theatrical, but I kind of enjoy that in these kind of
she was great.
shows. But just some of the dragon fight stuff was incredible, and
It's always sad seeing like dragons get killed.
yeah, which is kind of
Sky
weird
puppies.
because it's like
my sky puppies are fighting. Like Sunfire's so cute, and like his relationship with Aegon is like adorable, you know. And he's so small; he's still a little kid.
Well, yeah, it's like a puppy.
Just, like, kills
puppy
me
dog
inside to like
master.
watch these dragons like fight each other. You know, it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always sad. It's like when you're watching like a movie and then the dog dies. You know, like the dog companion. It's like it hurts more than most things. You know?
Yeah. But no,
it was good. That was a battle of Rook's Rest.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, dude.
Again, I haven't read any of the books. I didn't know any of the story about to unfold, and it was kind of cool to see this story unfold.
You don't need to.
You don't need to. We're seeing it, you know, in live actions. Ooh, what was that?
Oh, was that me or was that?
Where's that beeping coming from? Is that Jason? That's weird.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was weird.
Huh. Yeah. But yeah, that was cool, man. I was stoked about that. Sir Kristen Cole.
Yeah, that character is becoming to be the real douchebag of the series. Like, the worst thing is that the actor has been getting a lot of like hate mail. It's like, come on, he's playing a freaking character. Again, people don't understand that concept of an actor playing a part, and the fact that their character can do something so evil and so bad that they just, you know, they can't. That line gets blurred and they start verbally abusing or texting abusing the actor, and it's like, you know, it's
ever since Lando Calrissian, people have been like attacking actors for the things they do on screen.
Fair enough.
But it's but it's great. It's good stuff. It makes you kind of feel bad for Aegon. He's like doesn't even want to be king.
Yeah,
he's kind of a sexual predator at the same time, but like he's you know, you kind of feel bad for the guy because he's like I don't even want to do this. And his mom just like says he's useless, and he just like gets drunk and goes out on to fight, ride a dragon. You imagine riding a dragon like wasted like that? Man, and your brother tries to kill you.
Yeah.
Poor kid, dude.
Life happens. The one thing I want to kind of throw up there is that, again, just the way they keep improving prosthetics and makeup and stuff like that. There's a scene of a kind of like a dream sequence where one of the characters, her younger self, is seen, and then her head gets cut off, and you see this. Look at this. This is a piece of prop. This is actually not a photograph of the actress. This is actually a prosthetic. Of how detailed and how incredibly cool, like the detail is on this prosthetic here. It's insane how good they're getting, how lifelike it is.
Dang, they didn't need to go that detailed with it, you know, because like when they show her talking with her head cut off,
then
already,
it's just
like
close up of her face.
Yeah. So like for the head that falls off, I guess. Is what they use this for.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's insane.
But you barely see it. Like I wish. If they spent that much time on the prosthetic, they should have featured that a little more. It's like crazy. Too many times do I see like someone's head cut off and it looks like not real. You know, like every time you see that. Elijah, I think you're muted. Are you muted?
Are you muted? I can't hear you, Elijah. Oh, talk. Nope. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's him.
It's Elijah. That's okay. Elijah, your computer is doing something weird with the sound.
Your jack is like
something got knocked. I don't know what happened, but something got knocked early. Oh, you can hear you now. Yeah,
there you are.
Sorry, Elijah. Oh, what were you saying there about this?
Now I'm getting confused. Oh, he was saying that they look like a fake when someone's head.
Whenever heads.
It always looks like a mask. It always looks like a completely fake head.
Yeah, it's always the case whenever someone gets their head cut off.
Oh, totally,
on a movie or something. It's like you can totally see that's really fake.
Yeah. But that is impressive, though. It's an impressive piece of work. Again, you know, as the three of us are artists, it's like we just.
It's got to be weird if you're the actress to like be seeing your own head.
Oh, sure.
Like laying on a table like that, you're like, whoa.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, there's that. Although I don't have any images from the boys, I know again, Jason, Elijah, you don't.
Well, I
Did you?
actually just
Caught up?
I started watching it.
You
And I
started
got
watching the
into, like,
boys?
yeah, I started with watching this week. I got into like
Okay.
the second or third episode. I was just like, it's just.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get into, and it's
I
getting
mean, I get
familiar with the
it's
world.
not dragging me much as in as like the first season did. The first, second season,
Right.
those were like, now I'm just kind of like less wanting to go to the next episode. When it goes to the
okay.
next episode, I'm like,
All right.
I'll stop and come back to it, and then I forget. It's like because
Okay.
it's not dragging me to watch it.
That's
I don't
fair
know.
enough. I mean, it's a particular.
It's like I
It's-
got enough of it. I got enough of
Yeah.
that world, and when they can continue it so far that it just starts to get like too absurd, it's kind of like losing me. But that's with pretty much all series.
Yeah, fair enough. Either way, Jason, the boys season 4, we caught up with the latest episode. I'm enjoying it. I'm
Oh yeah, that was
definitely
a great
over the top.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was nuts.
yeah,
Sometimes, yeah, I agree with Elijah. Where sometimes it just like has to be edgy for the sake of just being edgy because that's
Yeah.
what the show does.
Yeah,
Like
once
that
they see what
obligatory,
Yeah.
crazy, shocking thing that happens in the episode, and sometimes like in these last few seasons, they've seemed a bit forced.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
that's what
that's-
kind of happens.
where else are
Like,
we gonna get
There's
that?
a good.
That's
Right.
what the show. That's
Yeah.
the show.
but
you know?
but at the same
Like,
time,
yeah.
this is a show. This is what episode 7, I think. They got the season finale next
One more,
week.
yeah.
And they've announced that there's a season 5. So I feel like we are kind of starting to get to an end game with this show. There are events taking place in it that I'm enjoying. I'm liking the fact that A-Train has kind of been revealed as that leak for sure, and getting away with.
Oh yeah, this was his main arc.
Mm-hmm.
He's finally a decent person.
I personally wouldn't be surprised if he dies in next week's finale, but that's just my thought process. I hope they don't kill him, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's basically, now that he's outed as being this leak to.
Oh, that there goes his plot armor.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it. Yeah.
Like there's
Hey,
massive
Kay.
amount there's a massive amount of use of plot armor in this
Oh,
show,
sure. Yeah.
especially with like someone like Homelander who's around who
Yeah.
could easily just kill anyone.
Oh yeah. I kind of question. I mean, for season 5, which is going to be their series, their series finale, to it work, you're going to want to have Homelander snap at the end of next week. Is my thought. I feel like he's going to have to break and be shown who he really is to the world to make it a real threat for the whole season, where everybody's just up to go get him. That's what I'd
Has
like
he
to
not
see.
already?
Not really, because he's
At
always
the end
been
of
kind
last season, that's the thing. Like he's been
But-
able to slowly show his true self, and people accept it. Like
Yeah, I guess
that's
so,
what's been
yeah.
going on. And then the
Yeah.
the final episode of last season, he literally kills a civilian,
Yeah,
and
but
then it's justified. So
Right,
like
it's just-
it shows its
yes.
true colors, and it shows like in the scary
Right.
thing is not just Homelander. We know who
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
It's the zealots who look up to him and allow him to
Right.
do this type of stuff.
But I feel like for things to change and get bigger, is that he's going to have to start just killing some of his own followers, just because. Mind you, I guess that wouldn't really matter either, will it? In the end, it's hard to tell. There's this weird dynamic with real life situations going on in some
Yeah.
ways, and what they're doing in this world.
The big thing is like trying to I don't know, get what he wants to do across, but by playing the rules and stuff. And now like there was like in the earlier seasons there was that threat of like releasing the footage of the plane incident that
Right.
happened
Yes.
in, like, the
Correct.
first season, and
Yeah.
it's like we'll release this and it will ruin you. And he's like, all right, well, I either gain the people's respect or
Yeah.
I have to make it happen.
Yeah.
So he's down with either way.
Right. Yeah.
Even if he's
Yeah.
outed, he's still going to do the same thing, but now with
Yeah.
force.
Right. Yeah.
So like by outing him or like seeing his true thing, it's just going to change the way he has to do things now.
Yeah.
So like the only way to really defeat him, I guess, is I don't know, take away his powers.
Mhm.
See, but then like they'd have to
Yeah.
deal with Soldier Boy,
Yeah. fair enough. I mean, that's they're going towards the whole killing all the soups thing arc and everything. But how is Black Noir back? He
Got
was
recast.
he got recast and replaced by somebody who can actually fly, which is like an interesting.
Yeah, have you watched any of the new season?
I don't think he has.
Yeah, it's like they just got a different dude in there.
Where did you fall off at Anchorman with the show? Anyway,
Deep is still perv. Deep is still like an idiot. How strong is Deep? He seems to be bulletproof. He's like Aquaman, basically.
He's got a bit of physical strength, but he still is a douchebag. So,
well, yeah, I know he's a douchebag, but like his power level of like is insane because like he has.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like they're aiming towards this virus that kills all soups kind of thing, and they're trying to at least target one just for him and one for what's her name, the governor or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Newman.
Newman, yeah.
Victoria Newman.
Victoria, yeah. But I still feel I
don't think anyone can kill Homelander. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one strong enough except for Ryan. Is the kid's name Ryan?
Yes, his son. Yeah,
he pretty much has Homelander's.
I feel like Ryan might be the key to taking down Homelander in the end. I feel like that is going to be the way, and the only way that will be is that he will be the one who has to kill him. I feel like everything they're going to try to do with this serum may fail. And only because
they can at least use it to take care of Victoria Newman, because like the main plot points that they're trying to fight against is like Newman becoming the vice president and Homelander or them killing the president who's currently running right now.
Right. Yeah.
And like all the stuff they exposed during like that party they had at Tech Nights.
Yeah.
Where they'll just make internment camps and then just like pretty much run the whole country pro soups,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like. Yeah, I mean, all the parallels are uncanny to our current world. But like it's all about just defeating Homelander, and how are they going to do that? See, I just have no idea how they can, and
it'd be fun to see. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure we'll get some sort of big cliffhanger on next week's episode on the season finale. So, and then, apart from that, the only other thing I was going to talk about today, guys, was just, Acolyte episode 7. A lot of people seem to not gel with this episode. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as I liked episode 3, but we get the reverse of the story arc of the, what was going on the other side. We get to see that Soul is a bit of a kind of tool when he kills off Mother Asaya. And we got to see some really cool Wookiee fight scenes that went kind of really cool. What are your thoughts so far, guys? Elijah?
It was okay. Like, it's kind of all to separate all these episodes by episode. It'd kind of be nice to just kind of like have the full story. Because they kind of seem disjointed. Like, one episode's good, the other one's kind of not. Like, they kind of don't feel like the same storyline when they're that. Like, one's really good, the next story is like okay, one story is like not fun, not interesting at all. So the consistency of the storyline to me is kind of like, I don't know. I think they could find a better way to like
tell the story,
flow everything together, because it seems kind of sporadic.
Yeah, I think binging would be the way to watch this show. Like, the preferred way to watch this.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But at the same time, I am enjoying the week-to-week conversation because it's set up to be that mystery.
That's the issue with binging, is that we can't have these conversations.
We can't have these conversations.
Yeah.
And like,
I get it. And
marinate with all the stuff.
Right.
I've been marinating on this show a lot.
But that's only for the sake of dialogue between the fans, that's the only thing good that comes from like its weekly airing.
Yeah,
but the show all together is probably best to binge outside of the discussions. But
and I would think because trimming, because because doing single episodes, I think they could trim out some of that unneeded content and make a 2-hour or 4-hour movie versus
that would actually
trying to make it 6 hours. Trim some of that fat that we don't necessarily need in there, and let's edit this all together so it flows better. Because some of this stuff is just like, it's not going the way you want it to, or that I want it to.
I think someone's doing one of Obi-Wan currently.
Yeah.
Someone edited it down to a 2-hour piece, which
a lot of like the look of some of the characters too,
right?
Which a lot of people are responding well to.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that kind of like Star Wars is a thing where it needs to be limited in Star Wars needs to be limited in some sort of restraints. If it goes on for so long, I think it loses some of its magic. For me.
Yeah, restraint is important.
So 8-episode lengths, 8-episode length seasons are too much, is what you're saying.
No, not just that format, but just how they did this show.
Right. Gotcha. But every show is 8 episodes, and I feel like the same.
Some shows do it well, and this show doesn't seem to be doing it as well as it could.
Right. Fair enough.
This is a good format, but not for this show, I think.
Right. Again, I'm enjoying this depth of new characters, new time frame period, and all that sort of stuff. So I actually I'm invested in seeing this. I'll be honest. I'm actually enjoying this show. It's actually probably my third favorite of the TV shows of the Star Wars universe. I'm enjoying this a lot. But again, it's like that's the cool thing. Everybody's got definitely different opinions on it. There's a lot of hate, obviously, from people who think it's too woke and all that. But I'm enjoying this diversity of characters. By far, the most interesting character is the one we didn't see this week's episode, which is Chimera. And I feel like if they go on to do a season 2, I think that they just dump the Jedi behind them and just follow a story with whatever Chimera, if he does survive at the end of next week's finale, and Osha or May or whoever is part of that group, and see what takes place and moves on from that.
Yeah, as far as like as lackluster as the show is to me, I'm happy that it exists because it introduced such a cool character.
Yeah,
it's worth it for him.
But Ahsoka,
it's where they get through all those characters for one character.
Yeah, for him.
We got the same vibe though from Ahsoka when they introduced Balin Skrull and even Shin, who was his apprentice. I was fascinated on those two characters, and they weren't exactly good guys either. It's like they're definitely, when they nail the bad guys, they're nailing them very well. That's
opinion. Star Wars tradition. Yeah. I feel like a lot when I was growing up, the preferred costume is Darth Vader over Luke Skywalker.
Well, Anakin Skywalker,
a bad guy. I always want to be a bad guy.
Yeah,
a Joker, a vampire, or this or that, like a bad guy, not like a good guy.
Yeah,
but being like not a blonde kid, it'd be hard for me to pull off Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but you could definitely pull off Chimera though. It's like.
I know,
yeah, they're just like, oh. What are you,
Elijah's always said I'd make a great Sinestro.
Or Sinestro? That's funny.
They were talking about that years ago, and he was like, Sinestro, that'd be dope.
Sinestro from
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, yes, thank you, yes.
Who would have thought the guy whose name is Sinestro would be the bad guy?
Yeah. But as shows go, I mean,
I want him to survive. If they kill him, I'm done with the show. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that he'd be the arc of future stories. I mean, there's still the possibility.
I don't see that they get rid of a bad guy like that and let him. Like that's a bad guy that needs to continue getting away.
If anything, Soul is probably gonna die because deserves it.
Well,
would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that. I mean, Soul messed up severely, but between this episode, we get to see that both Soul and Tobin were the ones that messed up the most.
Yeah, and Tobin knew he needed to die.
Right,
he felt guilty about it. So, therefore, Soul should too.
Well, I mean, I think the fact that Soul's trying to make it up because he's continually trying to, get back his apprentice, it seems, and I want to know what that obsession is, and maybe there's an answer. Maybe there's an answer to that obsession that he
doesn't deserve an apprentice.
Yeah, but there was.
Mirror has a lot more like rightful motivations than Soul does. I think like he's done more damage than Chimera has done, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Sol and Korea have Sun and Moon names, and Skull and yeah, and Hearty. No, both no. No, yes, Skull. What?
I don't know what that was.
Skull. Yeah, Skull and Hearty. Hearty. Both known as North Greek. Okay, for eating the sun and the moon. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. Um,
Yeah, because Chimera
yeah, there's a good chance that he might sacrifice himself. There's also a good chance that May actually just simply kill him. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me too.
Yeah, it's the only redemption he could get is like because he's responsible for killing a whole coven of innocent witches.
Yeah, but also when he left off, it was like he kind of, in last week's episode, he kind of takes off away from Vanestra and the Jedi. He wants to go find Osher, and it's that deep obsession with the once was apprentice of trying to help her and save her, and we see that from the Jedi, but it's like for Soul, it's something deeper, and and it's going to be interesting to see how next week plays out.
He's just trying to get to her before she learns what he really...
Probably.
Is this self-preservation?
Yeah. Well,
or is it like, or is it trying to right the wrongs he did? Like, what's he trying to do? What can he do?
Yeah,
that makes sense for his character at this point.
Yeah, there was other cool things in this episode. I did like the.
That was the question, Brent. That was a question for you.
Sorry. Say it again.
Isn't this a discussion? Like, well, what can he do that for his character? Like,
right.
Like, is this self-preservation, or is he trying to help?
I think he's trying. I think he's just trying to do the right thing to kind of prove to himself that he's, that he can come back from the mistakes he made, and he knows he made mistakes. That was a pretty big, this was a pretty big mistake. I agree, but I feel like that
and then, not only witches, but a lot of Jedi have died because of his mistakes too.
Sure.
Like he's responsible for every Jedi who's been killed since this happened by Chimera and by all
going a bit.
May are hunting. Yeah. He is though, right?
Right. Soul's definitely trying to find Ocean now, but the thing is that he's got May in tow. I still feel but I still just feel between Osha and May that they are going to still become one, and Soul's going to be the one who's going to be, taken out. That's my guess. Sorry,
no,
Jason?
But he is responsible for all these Jedi deaths, right? Like, it's all his fault.
From there onwards?
Yeah, from all the Jedi who were there who have gotten killed by May.
Right, who were there, yes, absolutely. But
that's all his fault. This is all.
His fault. Well, him and Torben, because Torben just had this weird
Torben faced his consequences.
He did.
He understood
in the future. Yeah,
he understood the dishonor he's done and paid for it himself.
Yeah.
Every Jedi who's died, like Yord, Jecki, nameless Jedi who died on that one other planet, it's all Soul's fault. Like, he's responsible for all of that.
Right. Well, the interesting thing about this is many years later, Yoda says this particular line here, which is too sure of themselves, referring to the Jedi, they are even the older, more experienced ones. And I kind of feel like that whole line is relevant here. What we see 100 years in the past is that he's losing control of the Jedi to people who think they're so sure of themselves. Soul thought he was so sure of himself when he thought he was doing the right thing, even though he did the wrong way about doing it. Indara was sure about herself, even though she covered it up. Torben was sure about himself. If he finds these girls, he's going to bring back proof and they can go home. Kalnaka, I just thought he was there for the ride, but I really enjoyed Kalnaka, just that fight sequence. But there is this element of the showrunner of Leslie Headland taking stuff that is said specifically in the prequels in this case and using that as a solid enough backstory element to the reasons why some of these characters are messing up. They're messing up because they are too sure of themselves. Is what the way I take it from this kind of perspective.
After this episode, I found out that like the Jedi are actually fine. They're not doing anything wrong. But like Soul is the whole mistake of this show. Like he's the one doing best because like the stuff he wanted to do. There's like, all right, Indara was like, I just gotta contact the council, and there's like, no, the council said to just leave them alone. And that's the right thing. That like before I thought it was like the Jedi are flawed, but like this makes sense because like you should leave them alone. But then Soul.
Okay, Jason will agree with you on that one.
What?
That it's not about what you guys think is what Star Wars is. The thing is that George Lucas left things up for opinion. He always left things up to the audience to kind of explore. And nothing I say is exactly right. Nothing that Jason says is exactly right. It's there is a certain amount about Star Wars in general that is left up to the personal opinion, which, if taken in the right light, is up for good discussion and good debate about why they chose to do something this way or that way. And I think that is also what gets lost between people being very angry and very upset because they feel like their information, the way they see things, is the way it has to be. And it's like, well, no, it's always open for a certain point of view.
No, but all I'm really saying is like Soul's like
you're right. Sorry.
All I'm really saying is that Soul's the main bad guy in this whole series. It's
sure.
Like, it's all riding on his mistakes.
The bad guy. Yeah, bad guy is a loose term. I would say he's the antagonist that made a mistake.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's the antagonist of this.
Elijah, any thoughts? Because we've taken up.
Yeah, no, you guys are on a roll there. It is like it is what it is. It's I guess I should watch it all together in a one sitting because it's a little disjointed for me, being broken up between episodes.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, there are things I like about it, and other things that aren't that great about it.
Fair enough.
Some of these characters aren't getting enough for the amount of story, for the amount of time that we're watching this. There's a lot of characters that aren't getting as as you would think they would get. So why didn't include them in there?
Fair enough.
Thanks, Kaggy.
Anyway, guys, we're coming up on a little over an hour, and I don't have much more to add. There's nothing else. It wasn't a huge amount of stuff this week. We got a couple of cool trailers.
I finally watched Furiosa.
Oh yes, what do you think?
I watched it yesterday. It was like the only theater in the LA area that was having it, so to go all the way to Long Beach.
Wow. But, what was your thought?
No, it's fun. It's fun. It's like it's a bit too polished compared to Fury Road. But I don't know. There's something more gritty about Fury Road that I really enjoyed. But like this one, kind of like, I don't know, a sense of antiquity to it, where it's like made the parallels to ancient wars that happened before it, and kind of connected it to that. So it's kind of nice. It kind of dug the lore deeper, and we get to see the history man.
Right.
And I thought it was awesome. But I watched it with my real estate agent. He really wanted to see it.
That was funny.
So I went with him and his son yesterday,
cool.
And we went to the theater, and it was like the first showing got canceled because no one bought tickets to it.
Oh wow!
Trying to catch it, so we had to wait 3 hours to 6 o'clock for the next show.
Wow!
Tickets
damn! That.
But
they don't usually do that. Usually they'll run the theater all the way through. That's weird.
It was just empty. They'll just run it.
Huh.
I wish.
Well, AMC used to do that. Yeah, AMC would do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was a Regal.
Oh, okay. Right.
I don't know.
They
just canceled it because no one had any tickets.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a completely empty theater, but it was fun. It made me want to watch Fury Road again.
Okay.
And
I mean, it was a prequel to it, so again. It's like
it leads right into it. Kind of cool, but it was good. Good Mad Max.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Fury Road, but There was, I think the visuals were much more noticeable as being a lot of CGI this one rather than live action stunts, and that did read a lot differently compared to the first one. But I also believe that the amount of pressure put on the stunt people from Fury Road was way less and less pressured. I think they might have had a less budget too, so I could be wrong about that. Anyway, guys, if you're out there in chat, thanks for joining us. And if you're watching and you haven't already, please like and subscribe if you got this far in. And we'll bring you whatever news drops in the next week or so. We'll be doing our reaction to the season finale of wow, why is it of the Acolyte? Thank you. Yes, wow, just had a complete mental fart.
Get some B12, Brent.
Wow.
There you go. Hey, I'm getting hungry. It's like lunchtime. I need food. But yeah, we'll sit down. We'll have our reaction on that, and we'll talk about that. I'm sure next week is how that plays out. And
season finale.
Have a good week, everybody, and we shall catch you all later.
Peace.